Namaste, beautiful yogis. This video is a special request by Sue. Let's begin at the front of our mat. Bring your feet hip width apart and begin to deepen your breath. Hands over the heart, pressing the palms of the hands together. Extend the tailbone down. Roll the shoulders back and down to open the chest. Relax your shoulders. Inhale the hands all the way over your head, clasping, and let's go for a side bend over to one side, back to center, changing sides, back to center. One more time, reaching through the fingertips, back to center, over to the opposite side, and coming back to center. Let's bring the hands behind the head, press your elbows back and lift as if you're gliding the hands on the head up to lengthen the back of the neck. One more time, open the chest, press your elbows back and lift, and back to center. Inhale your hands over your head, exhale, dive down. Inhale, look ahead of you and step in plank. Lower down, chaturanga. You can be on your knees for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Roll the shoulders back and down, chaturanga from the knees or a full chaturanga, and back into downward facing dog. You can have your knees bent here. Let's inhale the right leg up, come into plank, one-legged plank. Press the heel high, and we're going to prepare for knee circles, 5 of them. Drawing a big circle with your knee. 1, 2. Hold your plank. 3, 4, 5. And press back into downward facing dog. Change sides. Left leg comes up. Come into one-legged plank and press your heel high. Pull your belly in, open your chest. Prepare for knee circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And press back into one-legged downward dog. Step it back down. Spread your fingers open. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees and rest your chest over your legs or round your back. And roll up to standing. Inhale your hands over your head. Sit in chair pose. Exhale. Bending forward and see if you can clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, chair pose. Take the left leg off the floor and sit back with your right leg. Change legs. Step it back down. Exhale, hands down. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Downward facing dog. Take the right leg up and let's come into plank. Right knee to right elbow, knee tucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's step the right foot between the hands. Come up into high lunge. Press the back heel away from you. And we're gonna do lunge step forward, kick up. 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure your right knee is over the ankle. 6, 7, 8, keep your belly in, 9, and 10. And we're gonna lower the knee down and lift up either 10 times, either with a little hop or without. Count to 10. And when you're done, bring your hands on the floor, step back in plank. Lower down, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. For the chaturangas, feel free to have your knees on the floor. Chaturanga, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, come into plank, and we're gonna bring the knee to the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And step your left foot to the front of your mat. Come up, high lunge, prepare for kick ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one. Step it back into lunge and prepare for little knee, lowering the knee down or little hops. 10 of those. Make sure your left knee is over the left ankle as you do that. And when you're done, bring your hands on the floor, step back plank. Spread the fingers open. Press the heels away from you. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And back to chaturanga. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. And you can keep your knees bent here just so that you can straighten your back. Keep your feet hip width apart. Inhale the right leg up. Come into plank one more time, and we're gonna step the foot out to the side and do a push-up. 1, and then 2. We're gonna do 5, using the leg as extra support and at the same time activating the core. 3, 4, and 5. And step the right foot between the hands, come up, high lunge. We're gonna bring the knee up into the rib cage and back 10 times, moving as quickly as you can. Keep your right knee over your right ankle. And once you're done, you can stretch over to your right, clasping your hands. Let's bring the left hand on the floor, spin the right arm up. Roll onto the outer edges of your feet, and let's come into side plank, left hand on the floor, stacking the feet on top of each other. Here we're gonna do knee to elbow side plank crunches, or you can touch your foot if you can reach that far. 10 of those. Moving quickly and at the same time keeping the hips high, the belly in. Moving into plank and chaturanga once we're done. Upward facing dog and back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's prepare for the same thing over to the left side. Inhale the left leg up. Step your left foot out and do a push-up and back. One more time, push up and back. You can do push-ups off of your knees here, 5 push-ups, just regular from the knees, to keep the upper body strong as well. And let's step the left foot between the hands and come up. High lunge, we're gonna do knee-ins, stepping forward, knee-in 10 times. Making sure to step as far back as possible and to keep the left knee over the left ankle. Once you're done, you can bring the right hand on the floor, left arm spins up in a twisting lunge. And let's stack the feet in side plank on top of each other, right hand on the floor. Crunches, either touching the foot or elbow to knee, whichever one works best for you. And back into plank. Once we're done with the 10, lower down onto your belly, hands underneath the shoulders, cobra. Try to keep your elbows bent here. Don't straighten the elbows, cranking the body up, but keep a slight bend. Back to chaturanga, plank. And we're gonna prepare for mountain climbers, 50 of those. Let's get started. You can take breaks, you can pause, bringing the knees halfway in. You can tap the floor with your toes here, or you can keep your toes off the floor. Just make sure that your hips don't sag here and you're keeping the connection with your belly. And let's lower down onto the belly, cobra. And from the knees or from the toes, chaturanga. And let's continue with the mountain climbers just so that we can reach 50 reps. Feel free to rest in child's pose in between, or even feel free to do 100 reps, pause the video and do 100 mountain climbers with a few breaks if you want the extra cardiovascular work. And once you're done, lower down onto your belly, elbows in, shoulders back and down, cobra. Lower down, lift, and press back in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, step the right foot between your hands and come up for warrior 2. Bending the right knee, the left foot is slightly in. Relax your shoulders, straighten your torso here, externally rotating the left hip here. Straighten the right leg and bend. Straighten it and bend it. Straighten it and bend. 2 more. One last. And straighten, we're gonna turn towards the back of the room and bend the left knee, warrior 2, left leg leading. Externally rotating the right hip here and straighten the leg and bend the knee. Again, straightening, bending, making sure your knee doesn't overlap your toes. It only goes as far as your ankle. Just a couple more of those. And straighten. And straighten, we're gonna bring the feet to parallel to each other. Hop or walk your feet a little closer, a little wider than hip width apart. Toes pointing either forward or just slightly out, and we're gonna squat and lift one leg to the side, lateral lift. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, keeping the hips back. 4, 5, 6, contracting the glutes as you lift. 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't matter how high you lift. 2, 3. Just make sure to contract the glutes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And squat deeper. And we're gonna bring the feet closer together for regular squat, and we're gonna kick forward and squat. Kick forward and squat. Keep your knees as far back as you can to any of those. Extending through the toes here. Really extending through the toes. As you squat, make sure you're really sitting back so your knees don't come forward over your toes. A few more of those. And once you're done with your 20 reps, take chair and transition into plank facing the back of your room. Lower down onto your belly, cobra, elbows into the rib cage. Back to chaturanga and exhale in downward facing dog. And let's lift the left leg up, step the left foot between the hands, come up, warrior 2. Right foot slightly in, side angle. You can bring your elbow over your knee and make sure you're not placing any weight onto your elbow. You're really using your core to support you here. Coming out of this, facing the front of the room, warrior 2, and lower the right elbow over the right knee. Lengthening both sides of the torso here and side angle. Right knee is bent, not placing weight onto the elbow, but rather using the core. Great. And let's bring the hands on the floor, step back into plank. And here I'm demonstrating the next exercise. We're gonna jump the feet to the left and right elbow. We don't have to jump this far forward, or you can walk the feet forward and back 10 times. Can be very small hops or no hops at all if you're gonna walk the feet forward and back. Next exercise is alternating knee tucks, right and left knee between the elbows. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can lower down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down, press up all the way into downward facing dog. And let's walk the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up to standing, hands over the heart. And let's bring the right knee into the chest. I'm demonstrating the next exercise, stepping back, knee forward, straight back, touch the floor. Stepping back, knee forward, touch the floor. You can touch a chair in front of you. Stepping back, knee forward, touch the floor. Stepping back in lunge, knee forward, touch the floor. Lunge back, knee forward, touching the floor like a deadlift. stepping back, knee forward, touch the floor. Working on balance here, stepping back, and this time switch your feet, so right foot is leading here and come up, high lunge with the right knee forward, knee in, touch the floor, come up, stepping back with the left foot, knee in, touch the floor, stepping back, high lunge, knee in, touch the floor, stepping back, back lunge, knee in, touch the floor, stepping back, knee in, touch the floor, stepping back, knee in, and you can step your feet together. And here I'm demonstrating the next one. We're gonna do cross back lunges, bringing your feet 40 times side to side, so the right foot would come out on the outer edge of the left side of the mat, keeping the front knee in front above the ankle. You can go as quickly as you can here, and at the same time make sure you're keeping your knee back and tailbone slightly extended down. You can pause the video and do 40 more, taking breaks. And once you're done, let's step all the way back in plank, lower down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra, exhale down, pressing yourself up into downward facing dog. Plank. Holding plank. And we're gonna twist the hips side to side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And continue at your own pace for 30 more reps. The feet are together. These are really small hops. It is a cardiovascular challenge and a good core exercise. And we're gonna prepare for the next exercise, which is elevated feet plank, lowering onto the forearms into forearm plank and coming up onto the hands. If elevated feet is too difficult, start off with feet on the floor and then eventually come up in the future with elevated feet. So lowering down and coming up, keeping the hips lifted. 10 times. Now, if this is too difficult, you can even do it from the knees, placing a soft surface, double mat or a pillow underneath the knees. And once you're done, you can rest in child's pose. Inhale, coming out of child's pose. Bring your legs in front of you. And we're gonna come into tabletop, demonstrating the next exercise. Opposite hand to toe touch or opposite hand to knee touch if you can reach for your toes. Let's go for 40 of those. Take as many breaks in between as you need. Keeping the body lifted as much as possible here. Another way to modify it is opposite elbow to knee touch. If either one of those options is too difficult, you can just lift your knee side to side and keep the hands on the floor. Taking a little break and coming back to it for 20 more. And once we're done, we're gonna round the back and lower onto our backs. Prepare for the last abdominal exercise. We're gonna have our heels on the floor and reach over the head, touch the toes over the head on one side 5 times, then on the other side 5 times, lowering down. So let's start. 1. You can touch your shin bone. 2, 3, 4, or just reach for the toes. 5 and over to the other side. 5 on the opposite side. Keep your belly in. And preparing for the next exercise, this time we're going to bring the hands on the outside of the right knee 5 times, and then we'll switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Changing sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can rest with the soles of your feet together in butterfly pose or reclining Baddha Konasana. Let's bring the right knee into the chest, right hand on the floor, right shoulder on the floor, supine twist. Bring your right knee across from your body to your left, look over to your right, allowing your spine to decompress, to readjust. And changing sides. And coming out of this. And let's bring the left ankle over the right knee. Flex your feet here and reach to grab the back of your right knee. Pull the right knee in towards you, left knee away from you to stretch the left hip here. And you can change sides. Or you can hold this longer. It is a very beneficial stretch, especially for runners. And once you're done with this stretch, you can bring the soles of the feet together. Allow your shoulders to drop down on the floor and stay here for a few moments, allowing your breath to come back to normal, keeping your tongue off the palate, keeping the eyes closed, and just staying present for a few moments, aware of your breath, aware of the sound of your own heart beating, just observing your breath and listening to the sound of your heart. Namaste.